Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I hope you are having a great day. In today's story, OP wonders if he is right for refusing to sign over the deed to his parents' house to wife, specifically since she is so insistent about it. And OP is sick of feeling rejected by her mom, so she does something about it. But did she go too far? Am I the idiot for refusing to sign my parents' house, which is under my name, over to my wife if I die? So here is the backstory. In 2008 my parents lost most of their money and it got to the point they were no longer able to afford their house. My dad is quite a bit older than my mom, and his biggest worry is that he is not able to leave her enough to live and pay for a home/rent, without having to financially rely on me and my sister. So this is the plan we came up with. We found a house with a large lot that we bought under my name. My parents put down a significant amount of their savings for the down payment for the property, and to build a detached accessory dwelling unit for them to live in. I lived in the main house for a while, and my parents in the ADU. The agreement was, once I moved out, we would rent out the main house. I would be responsible for the main house, maintenance, repairs, etc., and my parents are responsible for the ADU. We would split any property taxes not covered by the rental of the other property. I live in a very expensive area, so my parents will have a place to live for the rest of their lives with no stress about becoming homeless. And I end up with a great investment property that I already have quite a bit of equity in. I have the house in a trust. In the event of my untimely death, the ownership of the house will transfer to my parents, and then transfer to my partner/offsprings once they pass away. My wife wants me to change the trust to have the deed of the property go to her instead of my parents. She says she of course will let them live there, but wants control of the property if I die. I feel really uncomfortable signing over the house my parents paid for to her, even though it's in my name and I'm spending some money on property taxes and maintenance. I consider it their house since they have paid for everything. Part of the reason I feel uncomfortable is because when we were updating our life insurance policies, once we got married, she made sure I removed my parents as beneficiaries and added her on as 100% beneficiary. But then refused to add me as a beneficiary to her policy and had 100% going to her sister. Am I the idiot for refusing to sign the house over to her? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the a-hole. I refuse to sign my parents' house over to my wife in the event I die. I could possibly be the a-hole because my wife should be my sole beneficiary, and because she says I'm the a-hole for it. Okay, this is very weird. I don't know, at first I thought she was concerned that if you pass away, and your parents pass away, it is going to be a problem with the property because of your sister, even though you already have everything established on paper. That maybe she was concerned that some problem could come up and the property would end up being split between her and your sister in case you pass away before her or your parents, you know. But after you told us that she demanded to be the 100% beneficiary of your life insurance, but denied any part of her life insurance to you and put her sister as her only beneficiary. I have no idea what her logic is. I just know this is very weird. I mean, I don't think that you are in danger, but it's clear that you don't have a very healthy relationship with your wife, and that the dynamic of your relationship is very unbalanced between you two. She wants everything you have, but she doesn't want you to have any part of what is hers. I don't know what's going on, you need to figure it out, because this is not right. And please do not pass the deed of the house for her in any way. Because I think that if you do, you and your parents will have a big trouble in the future. And if unfortunately for God's sakes you passed away before your parents and before your wife, for sure, she will kick them out. Don't do it, OP. Not the idiot, okay, but you need to figure out what kind of marriage you are in, and decide if you want to stay in it. And what do you guys think about this situation? What would you do if you were OP? Do you think that OP should change the trust to have the deed of the property go to the wife? Or do you think things should stay the same? And what about his wife's decision about her life insurance? Do you think she is right? What do you think OP should do? Don't forget to leave your thoughts down below. Now let's read what other information OP left in the comments. Your wife has not paid any money towards the house, has she? Do not sign the house over to her because if something happens to you, who's to say she won't kick your parents out of the ADU? No, she hasn't. In her eyes she is spending money on it, because the money that I'm putting towards the house is taking money away from our family. I am paying for things from the income currently being earned from my job. We still have separate bank accounts that our paychecks are deposited to, then a joint account we add money to for our shared expenses. The money for the house comes out of my personal account. This trust was pre-marriage, so she gets squat. If you change it now, the argument could be made that it was made during marriage. Don't. I've used the argument a lot that I had this agreement before we met, but her response is I made the agreement when I was single. Now that I have a family, the agreement needs to change. Yeah, no, it doesn't. You married her, so it sounded pretty reasonable, until she made her sister the beneficiary and you just stayed married to her. Like, what is even going on here? What kind of marriage is this? She has some really amazing qualities, which is obviously why I married her, but she is a very strong, stubborn person and I am extremely passive, to a fault. So I feel like she's just walking all over me. Well, at least you are aware of that. Why are you still married to her? She is using you. I bet if you were to unfortunately pass away, she will boot your parents out of their home. Unfortunately, this all came up after we found out she was pregnant. Yeah, that's some red flags right there. Like, that's a big one, right there. She's covered if you die, but you aren't if she dies? I'd consider counseling at a minimum. I am going to counseling myself, but have not been able to convince her to go with me. Info: does your family have plenty, or are things really tight? My family as in my parents? Or me and my wife? Things are very tight for my parents. For my wife and I, we have some debt, but both have very good paying jobs and are overall relatively comfortable. Well, congratulations on the baby, you're going to be a dad. But still be careful, and especially now, don't change the trust. Now, not only your wife, but also your child has the right to everything that belongs to you when you pass, as they should, but if you really want that the house go to your parents, the house that is legally yours, but they were the ones who also paid for it, please leave the trust as it is. Also, you have to stand your ground a little more in your marriage, but at least you're aware that she's having a certain dominance in the relationship and you're simply being too passive. You need to work on your relationship with your wife. You know that she's walking all over you, forcing her wants over yours, so if you want that to stop, you need to speak up and stop her, before this turns up causing a bigger problem not only for you, but for your parents. I really hope you can work on your marriage, and find a way that things can work for both of you. Especially now that there is a child involved, because even if you don't stay married, you'll need to co-parenting for the child's sake. But I really hope she realizes she is being unreasonable and you guys can start from there. Good luck, OP. Now let's go to the comments. Not the idiot, do not change that trust. She can, and would, sell that house out from under your parents if she came to own it. The tell is that she insisted on being your 100% beneficiary but won't let you be her 100% beneficiary. In my state, you would have to be her 100% beneficiary by law. Obviously, she wants to have your cake and eat hers too. If you can get out of that partnership cleanly, do so. She loves money, but probably not you. I'm really sorry that she has put you in this position, and equally sorry that you didn't see this side of her before marrying her. I'm sorry, would she have her sister as the beneficiary and not you? What the F? Please trust your gut and don't sign it over to her. Sorry, she made you remove your parents as beneficiaries, but refused to add you as hers? Run. Not the idiot. Not the idiot, your wife is greedy and wants it all. Put your parents back on the beneficiary list and ignore your wife. She will kick them out if she inherits it. Not the idiot, and fix your life insurance. It should go to who you want, not to who she wants. She set that precedent herself by refusing to add you to hers. I'd set it up as a trust for your kids and your parents, and leave her out of it. And what do you guys think? What do you think OP should do? Do you agree with the comments? What else would you advise to OP? Don't forget to leave your opinion down below. Oh, and I hope you are enjoying the video so far. If so, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications to know when a new video is out. Now let's go to the next story. Am I the idiot for saying I'm not loved by mom because she had me with dad and not the love of her life? I, 16 female, always knew my mom didn't love me. She tolerated me, was fine around me mostly, but I knew she didn't love me. She loved my half-sister, 24 female, that was always super clear. My mom actually spent time with my sister, nurtured and praised her, and she always made sure my sister knew her dad was the love of her life and no man compared. Every year on the anniversary of her late partner's death or his birthday or their anniversary, my mom and half-sister would go spend the whole day together and they were unreachable. Mom was so different with me. I never spent any time with just her, and even if we were spending time together with dad or my sister there, she didn't take an interest in me. She ignored requests for hugs, she ignored my achievements. When I'd ask her a question, she wouldn't always answer. She never told me she loved me. I don't remember any hugs or physical affection of any kind, messing my hair, kisses on the top of my head, snuggles and stuff. She was like that with my sister, but not me. Mom also didn't care when my sister denied we were sisters and would tell me I would never ever be her real sister. Mom was there a few of the times she said it and said nothing. She's married to dad, but I don't know why, most of the time it's like she hates him. I think he genuinely loves her and is hurt that she doesn't return it, but I still wish my dad left when I was a baby and raised me himself. He tries to make up for mom being unloving, but he can't while we live with her. It's an extra cruel torture to live with a parent who doesn't give a damn and others notice. I always get asked why mom didn't show up for parents' evenings or school plays and stuff like that, but she did for my sister. She never missed a thing when it was her. My mom's parents always bury their heads in the sand about it. They always look for us to take more family photos and want replicas of photos of my mom and sister, but with mom and me. Mom always has excuses about why we can't. There were weird/awkward moments when one of them asked for me and mom to pose for a photo and she ran to pose with my sister instead. Wow. Mom will talk a lot about my sister's dad being the love of her life and how much she misses him. She even talks about regretting that they only had one child and how she'd do anything to have more with him. I skipped Mother's Day celebrations last month, and it was noticed by my mom's parents. Dad told me it was fine and he understood why I wanted to do something else, but mom's parents asked so many questions about why, and even with the answers they tried to say that our relationship would improve, and questioning her love makes sense at my age, but of course she loves me. I told them she doesn't. I know I'm not loved by my mom and it's because she had me with dad, and not the love of her life like she always talks about. I said if my half-sister and I shared her dad it would be different and mom has never tried to hide that. It upset her parents and I told them to leave me alone. But they told me it's wrong to say I know mom doesn't love me, and to act like she's a bad person who doesn't love me because I'm dad's kid. That she would never deny her child love because of who their father is. Even weeks later I haven't apologized and I don't regret saying it either, but they're being such a pain about it. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot OP. I'm so sorry you are going through this. No child should feel they are unloved by their parents. I'm not going to pretend that I understand your mom, or why she acts this way towards you, or why she can be more loving to you as she is to your sister, or why she even married your dad if she doesn't love him. Maybe she goes through something that you don't know, maybe she has depression, or had postpartum depression when you were born, or something else, but still is no excuse to pretend that you are not her child. Because when your sister denies you as her, quote, real sister, and your mother stays quiet, she is basically doing that. And she really sucks because of it, they both do. I get that parents have favorites, even though they deny it, but reject your child, don't love your child because of who their father is. It's unbelievable. I get that her first husband was the love of her life, but your dad is her husband, she is still married to him, and even if she doesn't love him, it doesn't make sense for her to reject you. I also don't know why your mom is still married to your dad if she doesn't love him. Maybe it's comfortable for her, maybe she feels she can't be alone, I don't know. And also I don't get why he continues to be married to her if he knows that she doesn't love him. Maybe he thinks that this is the love that he deserves, and that sucks. But you don't think that this is what you deserve. This lack of love of hers is not fair, and you finally spoke up about it. I also think your sister sucks, and if she's saying that is probably because your mom validates her feelings, so your mom also sucks, a lot. But regarding your grandparents, I don't think you should be so hard on them. I think they know that you're telling the truth, they just don't want to admit it, because for most people it's incomprehensible that a parent would not love their child, especially for this reason. And if they admit to themselves that this is true, or even if they had the courage to ask their daughter about this, they would have to deal with this ugly truth about their own child, and I think they can't handle that. But not the idiot OP, and I am very sorry for everything. And what do you guys think about this situation? What advice would you give to OP? What would you say to help her? Don't forget to leave your thoughts down below. Now let's read what the comments say. Not the idiot, your mom, grandparents, and sister are terrible people. Have you ever had a conversation with your dad about why he stays and allows you to be treated this way? I'm very sorry, they are all a-holes and you deserve so much better than them. Keep your head up. This internet auntie loves you and is proud of you. Live your best life and go no contact as soon as you can. Make your own loving family, you deserve it. I never really get an answer. But when it turns to my feelings he hugs me, says he's sorry and he'll make it up to me, but he never addresses why he stays. I know you said your dad noticed that your mom doesn't give you the same attention as your half-sister, but have you ever really told him just how deep the hurt is? If he's a good father, he should be prioritizing his kid, not the woman making them miserable. This is such an unhealthy environment for you to have been raised in for so long. Considering you're 16, I'd suggest you get a job and start saving money so you can move away for college for a fresh start. Not the idiot. I have, and dad's hugged me and promised to make it up to me. You're talking about your grandparents' reaction, but not your mom's reaction to your words? That's telling. Not the idiot, your grandparents are pestering the wrong person. My mom wasn't there when I told them, but she never reacted when I told my grandparents before that mom doesn't care or wasn't there for something. Not the idiot, your grandparents are in denial because they don't want to think their daughter is a bad mom to you, which she is. You realized it young, so maybe you will not waste your time and energy to win this woman love, like my mother did for her own mother. At least you have your father. Your grandparents are in denial, because they don't want to admit they raised a horrible person. Your mother is awful, with any luck you'll be able to cut her from your life in a few years. Not the idiot. And what about you guys? Do you agree with the comments? What else would you advise to OP? Don't forget to leave your opinions down below. And that's it for today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, go watch the video that is appearing on the screen right now or click on one of our playlists that are in the description to watch more videos. Until next time.